If you're a heat and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, what do you need to know about bullying in your company and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Silverman-Bell, coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and business and a fantastic day to talk about you. I'm coming to you live from Haleiwa, Oahu. All right, so, you know, it's interesting. You get a bunch of people together in a room and fun can turn into pain really quick. And there's been a couple of times in my career where there have been things that have been not so pleasant that have gone on that should never have gone on, but we're able to continue. And I'm going to be very vague here on a couple of these for some specific reasons. If you work at an organization that is allowing people to be bullied, it's a weak sign of management. It's a weak sign of ownership. And bullying can happen in various different ways. Bullying could be name calling. Bullying could be treating people differently. Bullying could be just overall, there's certain people in a faction that don't like you. And there's times where you start questioning, like, is this me? Am I broken? And is there an issue here that I'm not seeing? Did I do harm? And then you start thinking, like, hey, what caused all this? What are all these problems? What are all these issues? There are times in businesses where the profits cover sin model we'll close a blind eye to people doing harm as long as they bring in production, as long as they do things for the company that they promised, as long as we can say that they're here working with us. And what you're going to find is inside of an organization, it doesn't get better, it gets worse. And there's a saying in consulting that if the head of the fish is rotten, the rest of the business is rotten. Okay, meaning that if the head of the company isn't taking care of problems or issues, the rest of the company is going to have problems and issues. And as you go through your career, there's going to be a point where you are in a sales meeting and somebody's being bullied. I'd say stand up for them. I would say go to HR, be the squeaky wheel that gets that grease, and say, hey, I've got a problem, and file a complaint. Right? Situations have happened where I've seen people go, don't file that complaint. Or complaints get lost, or complaints get hidden, and depending upon who you talk to, they're like, that never happened. It never happened. And so for you do want to be aware that it is your role and responsibility to stand up for the people around you. It is your role and responsibility to make sure that, like, hey, wait a minute, this isn't cool. This should not be going down. Like, we got to put a timeout here. We got to put a manager on this. And if the manager doesn't want to do it, we got to talk to an owner. And there are times where companies do end up in a legal situation where absolutely they should be held responsible for what they do. This right here is why you should go to HVACTechSecrets.com. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not the YouTube channel. It's an email publication. A good company won't allow it to happen. There are times where owners don't know. There's times where managers don't know, but you got to give them the benefit of the doubt. But if it continues, you've got a couple of options. One, document as much as you can. Say, hey, like, look, here's everything that went down. Two, go to HR. Say, hey, here's what situation is. Here is what's going on. And three, if it doesn't get fixed, there's other remedies. And if you're like, hey, Scott, I'm worried that someone's going to take action against me, the remedies will fix that situation. Being bullied in an office is not something you signed up for. Being bullied as a technician or a salesperson is not something you signed up for. Being bullied as a CSR, being bullied as a janitor, it doesn't matter the job. Nobody signed up to say, hey, I want to be treated like crap. I want to be treated poorly. I will just say this. There's going to be a point where you're in a meeting and one of the dudes is brand new. One of the dudes or the chicks is goofy. One of them's strange. One of them's not in the in group. And they're going to get picked on. And I would ask this of you. Stand up for them. Say, hey, time out. Not cool. We probably got to back this off here. Right? So one, it's the right thing to do. Two, that person will appreciate it. Because it's like, hey, it sucks to be put in that position. And three, it'll tell you where the rest of the people are that you work with, so you know who you're really working with. I am not a doctor. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a legal counselor, or I'm not a marriage therapist. Here's the thing. If you feel like there's something going on, get help from a qualified person and go have that conversation, right? Go say, hey, here's what the situation is. Here's what the problem is. What could we do about this? And if the company doesn't want to do anything about it, it's probably a sign that you should move on as fast as you can. Once again, not a doctor, attorney, marriage counselor, or therapist, but if there's bullying going on in the office, absolutely should be dealt with. You got one of three things to do from here, just one of three. Find the subscribe button, click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.